Is having a boyfriend embarrassing now?
It's like so true. Like whenever I had been in a relationship or even talking to someone, I was so uncool.
Look at how these women are viewing you. It is no longer considered an achievement. And if anything, it's become more of a flex to pronounce yourself single. Women are getting groomed to believe in their core that they don't need you. And then what happens? They wake up one day and they're shitting a brick.
It is not embarrassing to have a boyfriend. It is embarrassing to date a loser.
The problem is these women are now broadening that term loser to mean every possible thing that they don't like because they're incredibly picky, because they get a ton of attention and they have a ton of options.
I think for men, this is a wake-up call. We are no longer the priority. In fact, we're probably a burden to them.
This guy is clearly getting walked all over. One more video on this, and then we're going to shift to a coffee date nightmare. Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Jedediah Bila Show. I am fresh off of a vacation in Belize, so I'm feeling extra heated, extra spicy. Modern women, y'all better watch out. All right, so something went viral this week. I don't know if you saw this article in Vogue. It's worth covering because it's about, the topics that we care about, but also there were a bunch of TikToks that people were putting out. I mean, it was all over the web. TikTok responses that we're, of course, going to have to rip up because some of these people are absolutely batshit. So let's look at this article first because it's an awesome topic. Is having a boyfriend embarrassing now? Interesting. So I'm going to go through this. I'm going to read some sections for y'all so you can hear the gist. We're not going to read the whole thing. And then we're going to go to some videos that are going to make you happy, mad, outraged. We got it all covered. And of course, my commentary. All right. So is having a boyfriend embarrassing now? First of all, the title, right? You already know you're in for some, bullcrap. Is having a boyfriend embarrassing? Ooh. Okay. For so long, it felt like we were living in what one of my favorite Substackers called boyfriend land, she says. A world where women's online identities centered around the lives of their partners. However, more recently, there's been a pronounced shift in the way people showcase their relationships online. Far from fully hard-launching romantic partners, straight women, talk about straight women here, straight women are opting for subtler signs. A hand on a steering wheel, clinking glasses at dinner, or the back of someone's head. In other words, you can't show the front of the guy's head. You got to show the back. On the more confusing end, you have faces blurred out of wedding pictures or entire professionally edited videos with the fiancé conveniently cropped out of all the shots. Ooh! Women are obscuring their partner's faces when they post as if they want to erase the fact they exist without actually not posting them. So you can already see the tone of the article, right? This generation of women, they're telling you, want to kind of, allude to the fact that they have a man, but minimize that man's presence, right? He's blurred out. He's not really shown, his hands shown, but not his face, got the back of his head. So he's kind of like unimportant, unnecessary, shall we say. Okay. To me, it feels like the result of women wanting to straddle two worlds, one where they can receive the social benefits of having a partner, but also not to appear so boyfriend obsessed that they come across as quite culturally loserish. Okay, so what she's saying here is that women want, right? They want to be in the cool club, which is that they've got a man, right? Because that means there's something about them that was attractive enough for a man to want to be with them, right? But at the same time, they don't want to be like, oh, I'm all about my man. Heaven forbid, right? Heaven forbid. Because then society will shun them. And I love how they talk about how a woman who would be all about her man would somehow be a loser. Society would think that. Her female friends might think that. She would no longer fit the definition of this modern, empowered, I don't need a man vision, right? So she's trying to X you out. All you guys out there, she's trying to minimize you. She's trying to blur your face. She's trying to let the world know that she has you, but she doesn't need you. Don't take it. Let's keep going. Women don't want to be seen as being all about their man, but they also want the clout that comes with being partnered. Rollo would love this article. It's got like the word partner all over the place. He'd be steam coming out of his ears. All right. And then it says it's not just about image why they're doing this. Some feared the evil eye, a belief that their happy relationships would spark a jealousy so strong in other people that it could end their relationship. So what does that mean? Well, these women sometimes are afraid that if they post stuff that their girlfriends, they're talking about other women, their girlfriends are going to kind of spit on it, try to end it, try to ruin it. Ooh, he's this, he's that, because single women who are troublemakers want more single women that are troublemakers by their side. They don't need a woman out, behaving herself well when they're trying to do girls' night out and be all shady and nasty, right? We know. There was an overwhelming sense from single and partnered women alike that regardless of the relationship, being with a man was an almost guilty thing to do. Look at how these women are viewing you. It's like a guilty pleasure. Guilty. Why does having a boyfriend feel Republican? Read a top comment. Boyfriends are out of style. They won't come back until they start acting right. Read another with thousands of likes. In essence, having a boyfriend typically takes hits on a woman's aura. Do you hear this stuff? Even partnered women will lament men and heterosexuality, partly in solidarity with other women, but also because it is now fundamentally uncool to be a boyfriend girl. So listen to the message. It's uncool to be obsessed and crazy about your man. It's uncool to want to put his face front and center with yours on a vacation. You got to blur him out. It's uncool to be the girl who's really proud and honored and all about her relationship. Why? Because you got to be, I don't need you. You got to be self-sufficient. You got to be boss babe. You got to be single, empowered. All the crap, all the feminist crap that women get fed. And then what happens? Those are the same women that we see years down the road, 38, crying, sobbing, crow's feet, wine in the hand, wishing that they had put that man, that they blurred his face, wish they had put him front and center and showed him some respect, because now he's gone. They are alone and they're weeping. When author and British Vogue contributor Stephanie Yeboah hard-launched her boyfriend on social media, she lost hundreds of followers. Isn't that interesting? Sophie Millner, a content creator, also experienced people unfollowing her when she shared a romantic relationship. This summer, a boy took me to Sicily. I posted about it on my subscribers section, and people replied saying things like, please don't get a boyfriend. She admits that her content perhaps becomes less exciting when she's in a relationship. Being single gives you this ultimate freedom to say and do what you want. In other words, they don't want to have to account to anyone. Modern women don't want to have to account to anyone. So if they want to be half naked, if they want to have their comments flowing, if they want to, the content that they're going to do when they're single is going to be different, because all hands on deck, anything goes. But when they've got a guy, they got to show some respect, God forbid. They got to show some decency, God forbid. And now they can't just do what they want, right? So the content gets a little bit less crazy. People were objecting to that. Of course, being partnered doesn't affirm your womanhood anymore. It is no longer considered an achievement. And if anything, it's become more of a flex to pronounce yourself single. This is the rise of the single, I don't need a man phenomenon. Do you see how it plays out? Because when she's got you by her side, she's X'd out. Oh, she gave in. What is she, a trad wife, right? The cool club, so they think, is the one that says, I don't need a man. Really, honey? Why you all crying then? Why you're sad, depressed? Is that Xanax you're holding? This is also happening alongside a wave of women reclaiming and romanticizing their single life. Where being single was once a cautionary tale, you'll end up a spinster with loads of cats. It is now becoming a desirable and coveted status, another nail in the coffin of a centuries-old heterosexual fairy tale that never really benefited women to begin with. So you get the essence of this, right? And what do they want? They want women to read this article and be like, I knew it. I knew it. I'm so glad that I'm single. Oh, God, I know I feel miserable, but the article says I'm not. So maybe I'm not. Yeah, it's all going to be fine, right? Waterworks 5 years from then. This is such bullcrap advice. This is such nonsense. But this is how women are getting groomed. Women are getting groomed to believe in their core that they don't need you, that it's a bad sign if they do, that they can't express that they do, that they have to be totally into their own single, I'm all encompassing. And then what happens? They wake up one day and realize they do need you, and they're shitting a brick. Bottom line. Okay, so that is the essence of the article. Now, this went viral in a major way. Everyone had something to say about it. So we're going to give you a taste of some TikTokers and what they said. And we're, of course, going to go in. So positive response. Let's go to that first and let's play it.
Don't let the miserable people of the internet tell you that it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend. It is not embarrassing to have a boyfriend. It is embarrassing to date a loser, which for some of y'all is one and the same. So if that applies to you, you should be embarrassed. Anyways, my friend sent me this article today that's been floating around on the internet claiming that it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend right now. It's embarrassing to claim a man. That does not apply when you date people who elevate your life. If they're treating you well, going above and beyond for you, and making your life exponentially better, it's not embarrassing. You're embarrassed to claim him probably because he's a loser. Probably because he doesn't do any of those things for you. I just don't think we need to be so extreme and follow these trends. It's chic not to have a man. Go out there, live your life, have high standards, and eventually you're going to meet somebody who reaches those standards and goes above and beyond. That person it's not embarrassing to claim them. It's not embarrassing to date them. I swear these people on the internet want you to be single, want you to be miserable just like they are. And you absolutely don't need to fall for that.
Okay. So some of it's good, right? She's saying, it's not embarrassing. It's, it can be good, all that stuff. However, where's the golden nugget, y'all? Did you see it? Audience, did you see it? So she talks about how it would be embarrassing if you were dating a loser. On its face, there's nothing wrong with that. However, what does a loser mean to these women? That word has taken on a whole different meaning. If it was like, okay, it would be embarrassing to date a loser guy who doesn't have a job, doesn't want a job, he's lazy, he's playing video games all day, he's, got a beer belly, he's, not in shape, he's not has no interest in being a gentleman, even for a good girl, that would be fine. But the problem is these women are now broadening that term loser to mean every possible thing that they don't like because they're incredibly picky, because they get a ton of attention and they have a ton of options. So now he's a loser if he wears the wrong color shoes. He's a loser if he invites her on a hike instead of a giant exclusive dinner on date one. He's a loser. There's so many things that we cover that he's now in the loser category, right? And I would ask her, she says that these guys have to elevate your life. Ideally, yes, they should. But are you elevating his, honey? What? Again, if you have expectations that a man is going to elevate your life, fine. You damn well better be bringing something to the table that elevates his life. You can't just make his life a living hell and then expect him to elevate yours, right? It doesn't work like that. So those are just two little caveats that I would put in there, despite the fact that a lot of what she says is pretty good. Just hold on to those. Always look for the golden nugget. Okay. This is a response from a man. Y'all ready?
Vogue just posted an article saying having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I think for men, this is a wake-up call. To the smart, independent woman, good salary, nice place, we provide no benefit. We are no longer the priority. In fact, we're probably a burden to them. We need to realize having a girlfriend is a privilege. And our duty is to raise them up and make them the most successful version of themselves. That might mean doing the laundry and picking up the dishes. It might mean working harder to support them so they can go back to school. It might mean just focusing on ourselves more to be the best versions of ourselves, to inspire them to want to do the same. I think a healthy relationship involves both people raising each other up to be the best versions of themselves and doing whatever they can to support that person to be able to do that. Right now, I don't think men are doing that. I think men don't really provide a benefit. We need to figure out how to provide that benefit so we are no longer embarrassing.
Okay, so this guy is clearly getting walked all over. It's sad, honestly. Low T, what's going on, man? Come on, listen, perk up, honey. Get some posture up in your game. So immediately, there's something wrong with guys. First of all, get in the chat. How did you feel about what he said? I want to hear your comments in the chat. Get in the comments. I want to hear it. Was your blood boiling? Did you agree? Did you feel like, dude, like wake the F up like I did? Okay. Smart, independent women, good salary. The second he starts on that rant, this is a guy that's just been eaten by the system. They just ate him. They swallowed him. They spit him out all chewed up, and he's just fragments are left. He's saying when you have these women that are these independent, good salary, whatever women, he says men provide no benefit. So why has this happened? Why have men begun to feel this way? Well, the reason is because the gender roles are all effed up, right? Because now you have the boss babes going out and doing what a man used to do. They've got masculine energy bubbling out of the top of their head. You've got guys now expected to do feminine roles. Men are all confused because you're supposed to provide and protect, but then you also, maybe you're the stay-at-home dad. Maybe you're the nanny. Maybe you're, not running your household because, God forbid, you say a man should be head of household. Her horns are twisted. Guys are lost in space. And the reason that they're not providing value in the way they used to is because guys used to have a very delineated role. Right? They were the ones they had the masculine energy. They're the men. They were the ones who were head of household. They were the one who made the big decisions. They were the ones who were on the financial path to protect their family, to provide for their family. And the woman was more in her feminine role, which meant that she was taking care of the home. She was, of course, women worked part-time and whatnot, but the priority was really, raising the children, and being the feminine energy in the house, being loyal, being trustworthy, being a support system for that man. Now it's all effed up. That woman goes out to work. She's twisted. She's knotted up in a ball. She comes home mad. She wants the guy to have done the dishes. He also went to work. He's like, wait a minute, hold on. It's all effed up. And that's why this guy reads like a woman. Did y'all? He reads like he's got more estrogen than testosterone because, his lifestyle probably reflects that. Having a girlfriend is a privilege. Is it? Maybe if you've got a really good woman. If you've got a really good woman, if you've got a really good wife, yes, you're lucky, right? Then you got somebody who's got your back. She's going to support you. She's going to be loyal to you. She's going to love you. If you tell her, listen, honey, this thing you're doing is really irking me, she's going to self-reflect and say, have I been doing that? I need to change. I don't want to bring this energy to my man. I love him too much. She's not going to be defiant. She's going to apologize. All of those things, yes, that would be a privilege. Is that who they're dating now? Are most women a privilege to date? I mean, honestly, listen, these TikTok videos, hundreds of thousands of them every week. I'd sooner put my fingers in boiling water, to be completely honest, than deal with any of them. Now, on the surface, this thing he says about, how you should raise each other up and all of this stuff, it all sounds cushy. Like if you people will listen to that and say, yeah, that's true. But underlying all of it, what is the message from this guy? The message is guys are effing up. Guys need to change. Guys need to do more. Guys don't provide a benefit. What are we doing wrong? It's all on the guys. It's all, and I'm not saying none of it should be on the guys, right? You want a stand-up man. You want a guy who works hard. You want a guy who's not lazy. You want a guy who stands by his word. You want a guy who's, honest and responsible. All of those things, right? Yes. Where's the part about what she needs to be doing? Where is it? Because what she's doing, going to work, coming home miserable, getting a good salary, guys don't value any of that. So you have another layer here too of just guys looking at these women and saying, what am I signing up for? I don't want a boss babe. I don't want this boss babe energy in my house. I don't want it. I don't like it. It doesn't appeal to me. So why am I going to step up? And what do I have to fake embracing all this stuff when this isn't what I want? I have to pretend to want a wife that goes out and she's got her high paying job and she's got her salary and she wants to go back to school and she's twisted in a knot on the inside and always stressed out. And that energy comes into my home and she wants my kid to be sent to daycare and she wants my kid to be sent, a nanny to do what mom should do. I don't want it. They don't want, these traditional men don't want it. And they don't want to lie to themselves or to that woman. So they're just saying, I'm not going to support this. I don't want it. I don't want to embrace it. And they're getting penalized for it. Do y'all have passwords, by the way, to your YouTube, to your email, to your bank accounts, to your credit cards, to all that stuff that you value so much that you don't want people getting into, your investments, whatever it may be? Do you have passwords? Because I do. And I learned the hard way that my passwords were on the dark web. And people had access to them, and I needed to rush in and change them before something happened. Identity theft happens every 14 seconds in this country. And you know what I did? I got a service called Aura, which I am sharing with you today. Aura sponsored today's show, and they're amazing. I have a 2-week free trial for you. Free. And all you have to do is go to aura.com/Jedediah Bila. It's going to be linked in the description. And it's going to tell you for free how many times your passwords appear on the dark web. So don't you want to know if somebody has access to the passwords that go to your bank account or go to your YouTube or go to your social media or go wherever, your credit cards? You want to be informed. You want to know, right? Listen, you don't want identity theft happening to you. It spirals your life out of control. It's horrible. It's a hole to dig your way out of that you don't want. So some of the people in the audience went and found their passwords were on the dark web 10, 15, 20 times, even higher in some cases, and they changed their passwords. No harm done. But if they didn't know what would have happened, it would have been a disaster. I'm not tech savvy, or is super easy to use. It monitors the dark web for your emails, your passwords, your social security numbers on top of all that, and sends alerts right to your phone if something's going on that's a little bit shady. So if someone opens a credit card in your name, for example, Aura sends an alert. The VPN also lets you stay anonymous. Very important in this era of privacy is dead. It lets you stay anonymous by keeping your browsing history private, personal, safe, and encrypted. You have nothing to lose here. I want you to go to aura.com/Jedediah Bila. I want you to head over and I want you to send me an email, or you can either send me an email or you can put it in the comments or you can put it in the chat. How many times did your passwords appear on the dark web? Remember, this is a 2-week free trial. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. So take advantage of it. Everyone in my life has done so and they're like, thank God. So just do it. Just saying. Okay. Now we have some negative responses. So under negative, Ben, let's pull the first one. Actually, it's not numbered, but let's pull that first one.
So Vogue just recently confirmed what we've probably been all thinking forever. And it's like so true. Like whenever I had been in a relationship or even talking to someone or like catering to the male gaze, I was so uncool. Like, that was not the vibe, and I cringe at myself looking back. And now I realize whenever I see like a baddie or like a successful, sophisticated woman killing it in life, she doesn't have a man. Like, the ones that I look up to the most and I'm so inspired by and just like so proud of and in awe of and who I want to like be like in life, they are always like independent women, like living alone in their cool ass apartment, like in the city with their job. They're earning money, they're getting that bread, they're getting that bag, and they're like so hot, so cool, and they're living their best lives. And there's not a man that's just dead weight dragging them down in life. And the baddies that have husbands and boyfriends, it's because those boyfriends literally shut up and do what they say. Those boyfriends shut the hell up, sit down, and they listen to their woman. So I feel like when a girl has like just like a narcissistic asshole boyfriend who's miserable or controlling or just lame, it automatically is just so uncool. So yeah, having a boyfriend is not cool. It's not the vibe. And I'm so happy Vogue touched on this matter.
Honey, why are you single? Can't imagine. I love how these women are like, well, I don't want a boyfriend. Really? Well, were they lining up for you, love? Just asking. Okay, there's so many notes here, and I scribbled, which you all know sometimes I, can't read it. So let's see how we do. There's a lot to say here. So she talks about catering to the male gaze, and this is something that drives these women crazy because women by nature do cater to the male gaze. Why? Because they want to be picked. Women from the time they hit puberty want attention from men. It's natural, right? It's from the time that the hormones start surging, we dress in a way that we walk down the street and the construction workers honk their horns and we're like, hee. It's just true. We dress in a way that we go to the club and guys pay attention to us. We get, a high from the attention, from feeling pretty, from feeling wanted, from feeling desired by men. And we're talking about straight women here. This is just the reality. Women will always cater to the male gaze. Even if she takes a moment, let's use this woman as an example, and she says, I'm not going to cater to the male gaze right now. And she goes out a few nights and says, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I guarantee you the second she stops getting attention, she will flip that right back in. I guarantee you the second she starts feeling lonely, she will start dressing a certain way. Women cater to the male gaze because it's natural to want male attention, because you want to be picked. You want to join. You want intimacy. You want love. You want all of those things. So to say that you're not going to cater to the male gaze is completely unnatural. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And the women who make that choice ultimately to not cater, like they're trying so hard to not, are the women she's talking about. We'll get to that in a second. The career-driven woman that she describes living in the apartment. Let me tell you about that woman because I was her. So she talks about these successful, sophisticated, she calls them the baddies, like badass women, right? And she says they live in a cool-ass apartment in New York City. And like she says in the city, she's talking about New York. They're independent. They have their money, all of those things. So what she's described, and they're happy, right? In her view, oh my God, they don't need guys. They're like so happy. Honey, that's a television show. That is a TV show where they're happy and they're just living large, like Samantha Sex and the City. That is not real life. Because you know what? I lived that. I lived it. I was young and I had a good job and I was sophisticated. And I had the nice clothes, right? Worked at the View and I got all these designer clothes with thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just in shoes. Who gets a lick, really? But I had it, right? Had the nice apartment in New York City. Successful, cool ass apartment. I looked the part, right? I looked the part that she's talking about here. Now, by the time I was at the View, I was already dating my now husband. A little bit different for me, but even Fox News when I first started. Cushy looks, oh, she's got a good job. She's on TV. I was miserable. Because I was living a life that somebody told me was going to make me happy and that television and the movies told me were going to make me happy, and something was missing. Yeah, you know what was missing? I didn't have a family. I mean, I had my parents and stuff. I didn't have my own family. I didn't have my own children. I didn't have a husband. I hadn't prioritized that in the right ways. I didn't have a guy next to me. I had a job. And I had a career and I had the big, old New York City that doesn't give a lick about you and would run you over in the middle of the night if it could. I had completely dysregulated nervous system. I had, bright lights and cameras and stress and anxiety and all of those things. And at my core, I wasn't happy. I wasn't a television show. I was a real girl. who had lost touch with my femininity, had lost touch with the path that was going to bring me alignment. And I very quickly noted that. Thank you, Lord Jesus. I noted it and I made big changes. Not every woman makes those changes. And it wrecks me to see these young women just elevating this nonsense, this television show that they have in their mind that they think it's not real, honey. It's not real. You're in your 20s. You get to that life at 35 and that successful, empowered woman walks to that really nice apartment home and she gets there alone. And she sits and she goes and has her cocktail with her friends and she comes home tipsy and she's miserable on the inside, wondering how the hell she has all of this stuff and has nothing on the inside because she feels dead without a man, without a child, without a family that she's created. So don't bullshit this stuff because it's dangerous. Also, she addresses, by the way, baddies who have boyfriends. Oh, they're guys who, do what they say. In fact, she says, don't date, in quotes, a narcissistic asshole boyfriend. You know what a narcissistic asshole boyfriend is to these women? It's a guy who stands up for himself. A narcissistic asshole boyfriend is a guy who says, I don't want this stuff you're doing. You're disrespecting me and I'm not going to tolerate it. You're a dime a dozen, honey. I will walk out this door and find somebody else tomorrow if you don't get your shit together. They don't like it. They don't like being put in their place, even when they need to be put in their place because they're doing you dirty. So, guys, stop swallowing the bull. Stop losing your testosterone and stop taking this crap from these women. Okay. Hit that subscribe button, by the way. Hit that subscribe right now. No one's going to say it like I will. Listen, they're not going to. You know it. You come here for a reason. By the way, we passed 100,000. Some spicy good stuff is coming. Thank you all so much. We're 7 months in. We passed 100,000 subs. Hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that like button and get this channel to people who need to hear it. Because I just, I say it like it is because I don't give a lick what people say about me in case you haven't noticed. Get in the chat and get the comments. We need that algorithm to know that we're not sitting down and shutting up. All right. One more video on this. This is the second one in the negative. And then we're going to shift to a coffee date nightmare.
If you know me, you know I have been saying for years that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Unless that man is pouring into you, making you a better person, and vice versa, he's just bringing you down, and it's embarrassing. It really is. So props to Vogue for saying what needed to be said.
Okay, again, on its surface, someone hears that and it's like, okay, yeah, you want a mutual support system. But, did you hear like the pouring into you? There's nothing wrong with a woman and a man pouring into each other. By that, I mean like each fill the other cup, right? You want loyalty, you want devotion, you want honesty, you want integrity, you want all of these value systems. The problem is there's a huge imbalance happening. And these women are somehow feeling like they're on the side that's not getting what they want, right? And there's a reason for that. They're not getting what they want because the guys got tired. The guys got tired of being told, stop being a gentleman, but be a gentleman. Don't pull my chair out. Don't pay for the dinner. I can do it myself. You didn't pay for dinner? You want me to just go on a coffee date? But don't pay for dinner. I can do it myself. They're just so tired of your bull crap that now they're not showing up in the way you want them to. So I would ask you, ladies, did you show up for them? Are you showing up for them? Are you bringing to the table what guys want? Or are you simply expecting them to bring to the table what you want and there's no accountability on your part? Just ask these questions. And when you see videos like this that on the surface, look for the golden nugget. Just look for it and you will find it. All right. We are going to go to coffee dates. We have 2 more topics, coffee dates, and then we've got the never trust a man.
I feel like if you're going to be asked out on a coffee date, just don't go. Like, don't try to convince a man that you're worth a dinner. Yeah. That's what I think. If a guy approached you and said, hey, do you want to take a walk in the park or go to coffee? That's his right. If that's what he wants, that's what he wants. I'm sure there is a woman out there willing and wants to. I just feel like, now, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I personally would never try to convince a man that I'm worth a dinner. I would just be like, okay, God bless you. I'm not for you. Yeah.
Okay, you are wrong, honey. I wish I could get some of these women to come on the show. They won't because they are terrified of me, right? In fact, I go on other shows sometimes and it's booked. The panel is booked and then they cancel because they know I'm going to be there. It's fantastic, actually. And then I go and they're not there and I'm like, oh, what happened? Somebody just took a nap instead. Okay, so honey, you're wrong. First of all, this implication that a man is asking you to coffee or a walk because he doesn't want to spend money on a dinner for you is also not always right. Sometimes a guy wants to just talk. He doesn't want the distraction. He wants to get to know you, and he wants to know you're there for him. He wants to know that that fancy dinner may come or it may not come, but you're really interested in him. And if you're really interested in him, why do you need the fancy dinner on date one? Why? Now, if it's 10 dates in and you for some reason it's just walk and walk and walk, you never goes to nothing. Okay, then we can have that conversation. Like, is this, is there something else going on? Can we bond in another way? Right? Just boredom might set in. But initially, that guy wants to know you're there for the right reasons. So he doesn't want to spend his money on an ingrate A. And it's not even about the money to some of them. They'll say, listen, I'll drop cash. I don't care, but I want to know she's there. And this is a way to find out, right? If I take her on the fancy dinner on date one, is she there for the dinner? Is she there to use me and then go to the after party with why is she there? Right? And they got tired. You know why? Because they got used over and over and over again. So initially they were just dropping the money on the dinner, and then 5 dinners in with different women, they're like, why does this keep happening to me? They're using me for the dinner, and they're not really interested in getting to know me. They don't care. They disappear. They're disrespectful. They're making videos about me. So they're done. Ladies, you ruined it. You posted, you could see hundreds of videos all over TikTok of women saying, I'm just using him for the dinner. I'm just using him. They're saying it. They're so freaking dumb that they put it out there and advertised it. So guys they don't want to be used. They don't want to be abused. They do want to get to know you, but they want to make sure that you are the right kind of woman moving forward. And that's how and it works every time. And listen, honey, if you don't want to go, somebody else will, right? Somebody else will. All right. Number 3. Oh, this is a good one.
Never trust a man that do these 4 things. Never trust a man, period. But if they do these 4 things, you're setting yourself up for failure. Never trust a man that plays the victim. Never. If Jimmy says X is crazy, you're the victim. Stop playing the victim. There's clearly 2 sides to every story. Or if Paul says the only reason why he didn't make it to pro, whatever sport he wanted to play, is because he got an injury. Where's the accountability? Crimea River. 2, he says he's not ready for a relationship. Bullshit, Jimmy. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Never so hard have I called bullshit in my life, because there's no way that you're not ready for a relationship with someone that you actually want a relationship with. It's just not you. And you're just too little bit of a loser to tell her the truth. Number 3, he treats you like he's obsessed with you right away. Bull as well on that one. Okay, that's love bombing. That is the definition of love bombing. He does not know who you are. That's not romantic. That's creepy. Doomed for failure with that. He's not saying it just to you. He's saying it to 5 other girls at the exact same time, because he doesn't know any of you and he doesn't want to get to know any of you. He's getting a lot more out of this than you are. So run, Becky. Far, far away. Last but not least, I shouldn't even have to say this to you, but sometimes I have to say it to people. If he never takes you on a real date or doesn't bring it up in the beginning of when you guys are talking, and he just asks, are you going out this weekend? Are you out tonight? He does not care. He will never care. If he's just asking to meet you out, and that's the effort in the honeymoon phase when he's trying to get to know you, what is going to happen after that? It's always going to just go less and less and less with the attention, the pursuing. There's nothing less than he can do to pursue you. He's not pursuing you. Okay, he is for the streets. He thinks you are for the streets. So do not meet up with that man because you are too good for that. He's a loser. Find a man.
He is for the streets, y'all. Y'all for the streets? Ooh, y'all for the streets in the chat? I hope not. Okay. So even though there are some valid points in here, right? Like, guys, I always tell you, don't love bomb. Because it's a nightmare. They don't like it, and they immediately write you off as a loser. The meet you out thing. Yeah, he's saying he wants to meet you out because he wants to hook up, honey. Those aren't guys that are really interested in you. Those are guys that are like, hey, what are you doing out? Like he just, hoping that you're a little tipsy and maybe something's going to go down. We all know this. Okay. The problem with this video is, one, the second she says never trust a man, period, you got to write off everything that she says, right? And they don't realize that in the context of trying to do something, first of all, I can't stand this one's always doing the Jimmy and the Becky and the bull. It's so annoying. But in the context of trying to put something out there that they think is beneficial, they throw that caveat line of never trust a man, period, which just exposes them as a misandrist from the start. And you're just like, okay, you guys, did you stop listening at that point? If you've got any self-respect, you have to, right? Shouldn't be listening to them anyway, unless it's on this show where we set it straight. But never trust a man, period, is your golden nugget, right? That's just, it's all just her, just man-hating, right? Now, I would ask you, these things she says about men, never play victim. You guys aren't allowed to say you're not ready for a relationship. What if you're not? And you're just being honest, right? But you're not allowed to say that. You can't love bomb. You can't do all these things. I would ask, let's call her Becky, because she calls everyone else Becky. So, hey, Becky, what if a woman did all these things? What if she played the victim? What if she said she wasn't ready for a relationship? What if she love bombed? What if she said, hey, are you out? What would you have to say about her? Where's that video, huh? We'll wait. So when she talks about no accountability, what I find really interesting is that these women can call out men for having no accountability. And in some cases, some guys don't. But they're very unable to self-reflect and call on themselves to have some accountability. Isn't that interesting? All right, I want you to get in the chat. I want you to hit like. I want you to hit subscribe. Some of y'all watch the videos, you don't hit subscribe, but a lot of you do. I want to thank you again. 100K. I think we're at like 102, 103, 104, somewhere in there. Is really awesome considering we're only at 7 months and this is a show where there aren't a lot of guests. It's driven by me and you. So thank you. And it's awesome to get to do this with you. We've got some fun stuff coming. You just wait and we'll see you again here soon. Thank you so much. Love y'all. Bye.